Hey, namaste, Jai Kali, Jai Mahadev, Jai Bharat. I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. Remember, if you're fit and fine, you can take better care of your loved ones. Now, very personal question. Do you guys like my new hairstyle? I thought that maybe I was really bored of that long hair. So I thought maybe I should just chop it off and keep it simple and easy. In the past, I loved being bald and shaved and small hair, but as how you're growing and all of these people around, grow your hair. So I think it's much as bearable. Enough of all these long ones. No, I can't handle. Okay, so now coming back to today's discussion. So today's discussion is all about claustrophobia. Yes, you all must have heard this somewhere or the other, claustrophobia. Yeah, so now what is claustrophobia? Claustrophobia is the intense fear of small, crowded, and confined spaces. For those with claustrophobia, being in an enclosed space causes intense feeling of anxiety and panic. Yes, these reactions are often provoked when one feels trapped with no way out. Yes, I'm sure everyone must have had gone through this at some point, being scared and, maybe trapped in a lift, trapped in a small room, or, trapped and in a extremely crowded space and, losing control and just don't know how to get out of it. Yeah. So that is what claustrophobia is all about. Now, let us understand claustrophobia is one of the most common fears, with close to 5% of the American population struggling with the disorder in varying degrees of severity. So 5% of the American population struggling with the disorder of a different degree. Now let's come to India. So in what percentage of people are suffering from claustrophobia in India? So it's noted that an average of 7% of Indian population is struggling from this disorder, this phobia, and again it is varying in degree of severity. This phobia is more common amongst women than men. So women are more claustrophobic than men, and it can be experienced by anyone. I mean, like, of course, most of these phobias can be experienced, but most commonly, I mean, like, gender wise, the most common gender who faces claustrophobia are women, but men also suffer from it. Okay, it can be experienced by anyone, and also we need to understand that age, sex, gender, and background doesn't really matter. I mean, anything can happen to anyone. Any phobia can kick in anyone's life. So let's not have a very generalized way of looking at it. And the typical onset age for this phobia is childhood to teenage years. So that is when this phobia kicks in. Yeah. So now let us understand a little bit of the triggers. What are the triggers? Claustrophobic triggers. So spaces that may trigger claustrophobia is again crowded elevators, small cars, especially driven on congested highways, subway and trains, airplanes, especially in turbulence, crowded areas, tunnels, basements, and cellars, small windowless or locked rooms, revolving doors, MRI or CT scan. Yes, it can trigger. Car washes, then the dressing rooms, public restroom, closets. I mean, like, these are just a couple of the triggers that can trigger claustrophobia, but there are others as well. So, I mean, now let us understand uh, what are the symptoms of claustrophobia. We talked about the spaces that may trigger claustrophobia. Now let us understand what are the symptoms of claustrophobia. So now, when claustrophobia kicks in, that panic and that anxiety kicks in, most commonly is intense anxiety and panic attacks when this claustrophobia begins. A person begins to experience intense anxiety and panic attacks, sweating, accelerated heart rate, then shaking, feeling lightheadedness, yeah, then nausea, difficulty breathing, hyperventilating, fainting, headache, and chest tightness, confusion, and disorientation. So these are some of the symptoms that indicate that the person is having claustrophobia. Yeah. Now let us understand what could possibly be the cause of claustrophobia. Now, again, as per American Psychology Association and the statistical manual, there is nothing. There is no fixed reason why a person suffers from claustrophobia. Like many mental illnesses, the cause of claustrophobia are complex with a combination of environmental and genetic factors. So fear is a natural instinct for all humans because it helps us to survive and find safety. Right? It's there, but this instinct becomes extreme for those with claustrophobia or any other phobia. This instinct gets triggered, this instinct gets kicked in. So if you see, this severe fear can be caused by a past traumatic experience also. I mean, past traumatic experience can be one of the reasons. And If you see, in among the past traumatic experiences, can include some kind of an abuse, bully, or an incident or situation where one was trapped in a small space, or again bullying and all, and that is how that leaves again a watermark in the memory of the child. And that is what increases the anxiety levels when the person is again confined and into the same kind of situation again. So that is how they start developing the fear, like how they experienced in the past. That fear comes forward, and right in the moment also they start fearing it. So that is one of the basic ways to understand the cause of claustrophobia. And now let us understand what could possibly be the ways to treat and manage claustrophobia. So claustrophobia again can be managed with therapy mostly. And the therapies that are mostly suggested are again CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. And I mean, like, CBT has been quite successful in anxiety disorders. So we cannot deny that it has shown great results in managing anxiety disorders. Apart from that, exposure therapy is also helpful in managing claustrophobia, and visualization techniques are also helpful. So I mean, like, more than the medicines when it comes to claustrophobia, I mean, like, these therapies are more suggested. Medicine, for anti panic or anti anxiety, and again anti-depressant, these can be suggested to manage when you have that you know anxiety or panic attack kicking in. But these can just manage the episode, but this cannot fix the claustrophobia. Yeah, so in order to fix it, therapy is again one of the best route when it comes to it. And out of the therapy choices, cognitive behavioral therapy is one of the best. So yes, I mean, like, I have practiced CBT, and I wouldn't raise very high expectations or standards, but I think CBT helps. CBT helps when you talk. This way of communicating helps both the parties to understand and engage into a conversation that is meaningful to both and that benefits both. So I mean, like, I personally feel that CBT is quite helpful in a lot of anxiety disorders. Yeah. And again, now some of the basic ways to manage claustrophobia is again deep breathing exercises. Yeah, just the way how we meditate. Pranayams can be, taken help of, and then visualization techniques, then grounding techniques can be, taken in order to help manage the claustrophobia. And apart from that, overall, if you see, all of these phobias actually become very rigid and become very permanent when we don't talk about it. But if we have a healthy diet, healthy routine, and if we have got a good partner or good counselor or good talking system in and around us, we are able to overcome. Trust me, I have seen worst of the worst cases which were like, people had given up, but talking in the right way and communicating with such clients and such people, it helps. So talking therapy helps. You just cannot say that it doesn't help. Right food, right lifestyle, right routine, and of course, talking therapy helps. I've seen transformative changes, and that is what even I suggest and I recommend. So, in case any one of you is suffering from claustrophobia, do comment below, and please do like, share, subscribe the channel, and please take care of yourself. We all are not perfect, and life is all about embracing our imperfections and working on our imperfections, not trying to be perfect but living with the imperfections happily. And all problems have a solution, so kindly please don't give up, and please take care of yourself and have a great day ahead. Bye.